I feel so bad for 49ers fans. I do. Jimmy Garoppolo got hurt on Sunday against the Chiefs. He hurt his knee, and actually what he did was it got confirmed by Adam Schefter today. Jimmy Garoppolo tore his ACL. He made a cut. It was non-contact. He was planting his knee. He did get hit after planting, but it was appeared to be a non-contact injury. Jimmy Garoppolo tore his ACL. Out for the year. Huge loss. I mean, obviously it's a huge loss. And I want to point out, remember first that the 49ers signed their running back, Jerick McKinnon, to a big deal, tore his ACL earlier this season. And now Jimmy Garoppolo, the 49ers quarterback, has torn his ACL. Man, can the 49ers catch a break? It's brutal. I feel bad for them. And I can't imagine it's so discouraging if you're a 49er fan. But I can put a positive spin on it. Here's a positive outlook on Jimmy Garoppolo tearing his ACL. At the very least, I don't think the 49ers could have won a Super Bowl this year. This was not their year. And it would have hurt a lot more if they were making a run, they had all the pieces in place, and then Jimmy Garoppolo tore his ACL. It could have been worse, right? It could have been their season to win, and they blew it because of their quarterback tearing his ACL. I'm not saying it's great, but I think in 2 years from now, the 49ers are setting themselves up to have a really great playoff run, and it's better to happen now than 2 years from now. But, man, I can't acknowledge enough. It's bad for 49er fans. I feel bad for them. Now, their backup, CJ Beathard, I believe may not be terrible. I don't think he's awful. But we're really going to learn how valuable Jimmy Garoppolo is. Remember, he signed a giant contract, $137.5 million. If the 49ers completely fall apart without Jimmy Garoppolo, then yeah, he earned his contract. It shows how valuable Jimmy Garoppolo is. Actually, my concern would be, what if the 49ers do well? What if some miraculous way, what if CJ Beathard plays better than Jimmy Garoppolo has this year? Then you have a lot of weird questions. I don't know what to do. But here's the biggest, I don't know if I said this earlier, but the most concerning thing about Jimmy Garoppolo's injury, if you're Jimmy Garoppolo, if you're a fan of him, is that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to miss valuable reps. Towards the end of the game, and really the first 3 weeks of the NFL season, Jimmy Garoppolo's inexperience has shown. Jimmy Garoppolo was doing a number of small things that made it clear that to defense is what he was about to do. He was telegraphing his next move. Remember, Richard Sherman warned us about this. Richard Sherman talked about earlier in this year, he's telegraphing throws. He's doing little things that you can predetermine what Jimmy Garoppolo is going to do next. An announcer pointed out during the 49ers-Chiefs game, when Jimmy Garoppolo did a quarterback sneak, for example, this is something I was taught when I was a kid, you got to go about business as usual. You can't go up to the line and only focus on one spot, and that's exactly what Jimmy Garoppolo did. Jimmy Garoppolo did not go up to the line of scrimmage, scan around, read a defense like normal. What Jimmy Garoppolo did was look down at his center, look at exactly where he was going, snap the ball, go. And he got the first down. But if people look at tape next week and the week after, if Jimmy Garoppolo did a quarterback sneak the next time, he would get stuffed because we would all know, and people would know, oh, he's not scanning the field, he's doing things differently, therefore he's about to run a quarterback sneak. Another thing Jimmy Garoppolo's been doing that's really, really concerning is simply holding on to the ball too long. If you watch my Instagram story, you saw I had a stopwatch and I was clocking every time Jimmy Garoppolo would drop back. At times, he held the ball for almost 7 seconds. You can't do that. You just cannot expect to be successful standing in the pocket for 7 seconds in the NFL. If you can, that's awesome, but you can't expect to be successful doing that. The key in the NFL, the rule in the NFL is 2.5 seconds. You have 2.5 seconds to get the ball out. 7 seconds, do the math. That's a lot more than 2.5. That's absurd. And if your offensive line is allowing you to stay in the pocket for 7 seconds, they've done their job. You can't fault the offensive line for sacks if Jimmy Garoppolo is holding on the ball for 7 seconds, and he was. And so whatever fix is going to happen, whether it's a different route combination or he needs to find his outlet or he needs to simply throw the ball away, something, that's not acceptable. Jimmy Garoppolo cannot hold the ball for 7 seconds, and that's the thing I was most excited to watch him improve on this year, is how does he go about getting the ball out quicker? Because if you watch Tom Brady does not hold on to the ball for a long time. He finds a way to get it out quick, whether that's changing the play to a play that suits the defense, whatever it is. Tom Brady doesn't hold the ball for 7 seconds. Jimmy Garoppolo was, and I really wanted to watch him progress that way, and now we won't get that chance. And again, that's the biggest issue with Jimmy Garoppolo's injury. He's missing valuable learning experiences. He's losing out on opportunities where he could be getting better. He could watch film, that's great. But I really was hopeful because I think the 49ers were not going to win this year. They were going to be, I think, 9-7 was my prediction. But they had an opportunity to get a lot better and build something for the future. And now without your running back, without your quarterback, you're not going to be gaining those valuable reps that they could have used to build on and learn from. And that's the most concerning thing about Jimmy Garoppolo's injury. It's not that the 49ers season is probably over. It's that now Jimmy Garoppolo can't get better for the rest of the 13 games this year. He could have used those games to get better, and now he can't. So week 4, the 49ers play the Chargers. Oh, it's likely going to be an ugly game. I feel bad for 49er fans. I would pretty much chalk up the 49ers as going 1-3 already. They're 1-2 right now. They're almost guaranteed to lose to the Chargers unless CJ Beathard out of nowhere plays like an all-star. I have no idea. But yeah, it's the 49er season appears to be over. And that's disappointing because they had a lot of good things going for them. They were not going to be a great team to probably make the playoffs, but they had a lot of stuff I was excited to watch build and grow, and now it's just like deflating and kind of boring. It's one of my main things I was excited to watch this year was the 49ers. How do they build off last year? And sadly, we're not going to get that at all.